Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we are back. We got plenty to talk about, so let's get right into it. Terrence, you watched Companion.
Yeah, I watched it today. I enjoyed it. I liked it quite a bit. I still kind of a little bit upset that they let you know what was going on initially.
Right.
They're in the trailer. Kind of fucked up. Like that would have been a kind of a cool surprise. But overall, you can tell it was written by the guy that did Barbarian because there are way more to it.
Good.
There's a lot more going on than what the trailer tells you. It's very good. Wow. Like
one character says something, and I laughed out loud. I don't know if I could say, but the dude from The Boys said something, and he said something that a nice guy says, and I laughed out loud because it was the most ridiculously accurate thing I've ever heard utter in a movie. It was.
Was it towards the end?
It was like towards the whole end is
bananas. First of all,
yeah.
All right,
but
well,
yeah, I really like that movie. Man.
Yeah, I'll have a chance to watch
it. It was very good. There was something that I kind of mad that I didn't catch. It was a very big plot point that I kind of didn't catch. I kind of mad at myself that I didn't catch it, but I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it's wild. It's good. Definitely. So you'll enjoy it.
So they're two for two then for you, right?
Yeah.
Because I love Barbarian. I thought Barbarian was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'll check it out. All right. Topics this week. Micah, take it away.
There's a Master of the Universe first look reveals a glimpse of He-Man and his power sword. It's kind of pale to be Demetrius, but maybe. Our first official look at the live-action Masters of the Universe movie has arrived via SFF Gazette, and it offers an exciting glimpse of Nicholas Galadzin's He-Man wielding the iconic Sword of Power. It's a teaser image. Yeah, that's the picture. That's it.
That's the exciting picture? What the fuck are we talking about right now?
You're not excited?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Looks accurate. Right. I mean, the sword looks accurate.
It could be fucking Conan the Barbarian for all I know. I don't know. It's a fucking all right. Sure. Whatever.
I was half joking with Jay when he showed this to me. This dude looks too small to be, He-Man to me. But, we'll see. Because I looked at pictures of the dude, and he's not a small dude, right? But that first image that we saw of him as Prince Adam,
that was weird.
Wearing a big baggy shirt. Like, I hope you don't think that's hiding the fact that he's like a pretty built dude. Like that dude has like a Superman body, right? Where it's but when I imagine He-Man, like I imagine Mr. Olympia, like just a straight bodybuilder, not like a super fit CrossFit guy.
Yeah, and
that's somebody built like Batman, right?
Right. Yeah, he's built like Batman. I need somebody built like Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to laugh at them because they can't do the vacuum, right? Like, I need one of them dudes.
Fucking Ronnie Coleman. It's just like, all right, fine, get your big ass out here. Yeah, I would have hoped
Rich Piata dig Rich Piata up and let him be He-Man.
Yeah, and his synthol arms. Dude was gigantic. Yeah, it's really weird because the other behind the scenes images, he's just like in a pink button-up shirt, like being arrested by cops. Like, whoa, I'm just a regular guy. Why are you doing this story? Why are you putting this on Earth? That part pisses me off. This movie should be set in Eternia. It should just be a fucking comic book sword and sandals type movie. It does not need to be on Earth so that you and I can relate to it. He has a super sword that makes him really jacked, and he fights a skeleton man who's also jacked, which makes no sense. Okay, it doesn't. I don't have to relate to it. Just put it on another planet. Other worlds. Or should I explain what other worlds is, because some people don't get it? Damn. Yeah, I don't understand this. I hate that they're doing the same, basically seemingly the same story as they did in the Dolph Lundgren one, which is like Superman comes to Earth and then like confusion happens, and then they have the guy from Ain't It Cool News is there and like all that shit. Like this is
oh, that nigga's not gonna be.
He's
yeah. And he's
really is.
He's not a good.
He's kind of a piece of shit, so I can
yeah, it's okay to say.
Without being
it's okay to make
like,
fun of people's looks if they're a bad person. Everyone knows. That's
again, do we have that clip?
We do
in the archive.
We do.
That clip is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It's funny.
Almost died that day.
Yeah, well, so did he when those books fell on. It's just fucking funny.
That's a funny story. I'm sorry. Look, it's fucked up. There's some books fell on this nigga, and, but
my back.
It's funny.
Yeah, well, it turns out to be a giant garbage person. So yeah, look, we'll see. I don't know why this needs to happen on Earth. Just keep it on Eternia. It makes
How
sense.
gay is this going to be? How gay is this movie going to be?
Probably not
pretty
gay
gay.
enough. It should be. It should be, but probably not gay enough. Is Battle Cat / Cringer going to be in this movie? Yeah, that was the name.
If he's on Earth, probably not.
What if they make it just like? Yeah, what if they make it just like, oh, that's my motorcycle, Cringer, and then he transforms, and now it's Battle Cat. Now
No. Look, if you're gonna do this series, like justice, one, you have to make it super gay because the cartoon was super gay. Just like have it like Battle Cat is like a house cat, it turns into like a scared house cat, and then like
a green house cat.
Yeah, a green house cat because of reasons, right? And then like when shit goes down, he's a fucking green tiger or whatever the fuck he was, and he rides him around. Like, okay, it's fine. I want to see what Jared Leto looks like. Okay, that's what I'm.
I want to see what all of them look like, but yeah, especially Jared. I want to see Jared Leto's whole performance. That's what I want to see. I don't just want to see the look. I want to see him do that.
There is a 40% chance that his general weirdness makes it totally work. Like there's a 40% chance. There's a much higher percent chance, obviously, that it is going to be an unmitigated fucking disaster. And part of that is also the reason I want to see this movie. So
I want to hear Jared Leto call somebody an incompetent boob.
I would like to see
what we got to do is use his Joker voice from the Suicide Squad.
Oh boy, is he gonna ruin another
same shit?
Ruin another iconic character with your dumb face. Yeah, that's gonna be really weird. Is he going to at one point go through some sort of magical mirror and then put his fist through it and break it to fucking leave? Which is one of my favorite moments. Until we meet again.
It's a silly fucking show.
Yeah, it was very silly and very gay. Shout out to you, man. All right, next up, Mike.
Next up, John Bernthal's Punisher will headline a Werewolf by Night style Marvel special, like a shotgun blast of a story. Bernthal is also writing the special with We Own This City director Ronaldo Marcus Green.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Marvel continues to plot out a space for the Defenders roster on Disney Plus. At least one will be branching off to do his own thing. Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, aka every cop gets this character wrong, will officially return after an initial appearance in Daredevil Born Again Season 1. as the actor's gun-toting Angel of Vengeance will also headline his own Marvel special in the vein of Werewolf by Night or the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Bernthal is also co-writing the script with We Own This City director Ronaldo Marcus Green, who will helm this standalone special. Quote, it's like a shotgun blast of a story, but also has all the pathos and emotion that you want out of a Frank Castle story.
Cool.
Yeah, this is dope. This is actually really, really dope. Get ready for white boys everywhere to cream their pants. They are not going to get enough of it, and they are going to demand a series and that the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe will star John Bernthal. That's how much they will be into this.
Yeah, it feels like there is a possibility that, like, to your point, like that it kind of backfires, right? Where he needs to lead the entire MCU. This is what the property's been missing. A deranged white guy at the lead. He's like, yeah, okay, we got it. So we all love Frank Castle. It's fine. Yeah, no, look, I think this is great. It's cool that they're doing more of these special presentations because they're basically mini movies. Werewolf by Night I just looked it up, was 54 minutes. Cool. You want to give me an hour long, short little Punisher story? Great. I think that's dope. He's a fan favorite. And also him, I was like, oh, he's co-writing it? Who's he writing it with? And it was like, oh, the guy who did We Own the City. I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine. He was awesome in that show, and that was a very good show if you've never seen it. It's a sort of spiritual successor to The Wire. So, yeah, okay. This, by all accounts, this all sounds good. The early reviews of the first, 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, they're all pretty much excellent. They're like, it's unbelievably fucking dark and fucked up in the ways that you want. So,
yeah, I'm hearing that people couldn't believe Disney had, quote unquote, the balls to do this show in the way that it is done.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's
I'm actually not surprised.
That's that. Well, you think Disney, everybody thinks like Disney princesses and Mickey Mouse. They're a movie studio, guys. Like
money.
They're right. Money. That's all that really matters to this and any other corporation.
Yep. Did you see Deadpool? They didn't shy away from violence in that movie at all.
Right.
I don't know why.
So, yeah, man. Look, this guy, Ronaldo Marcus Green, also directed the Bob Marley One Love movie, which wasn't great, but he also directed King Richard, which wasn't great, but but I didn't hate it. He also directed Monsters and Men.
That was okay.
We did that movie on Black Cinema. So look, I think this is in the right hands. I think this is. I think this guy can kind of pull this off. And yeah, you get more John Bernthal. John Bernthal, I like him as an actor, but he's also a decent human being, which also helps.
Yep.
Yeah. The fact that he's married to Kurt Angle's niece is hilarious to me.
What?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
You didn't know that? Yeah, he's married to Kurt Angle's niece.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
What a weird little fan
yeah, it must have been a very weird, hey, come meet the family, and all of a sudden it's right.
Comes from the back. You're like, the fuck? Oh,
yeah, and he
turning
milk.
His whole body to look at you like Batman because he's got a broken freaking neck.
Fused together. His two cartons of milk smashes together and drinks it. That's really weird. Don't do that. But yeah, okay. I'm very very much cool with this. That sounds good to me. Just quickly, here's a report from Entertainment Weekly a couple of days ago saying Marvel is very much exploring Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist returns, but no answer as to whether it'll be the original cast or not.
I was about to ask, are the same actors?
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't. Kirsten Ritter, sure. The other two, I would say take it or leave it, but just leave it. Just leave it. Like, get someone else for both of them.
Well, technically, Jessica Henwick is Iron Fist in from the end of that show, if I remember. And if for some reason they don't like women, there is an Asian Iron Fist character who used to go by Swordmaster, but now he's like the new Iron Fist because they realize like stereotypes exist. Stereotypes are bad, but like they exist for a reason. So how about we let the Asian guy be the martial artist and not let David Carradine over here with his fucking yoga body just appropriate this fucking culture. Like, hey, Asian people, I know all the martial arts now.
I'm the best of all of you. Really? That's interesting. I was a rich white boy, and then I went to your land and bettered all of you.
Yeah, none of you could stop me, so I was the best fighter in the world. So the only thing else I had to do was try to kill myself, and I won and lost.
Yeah, I don't care for Finn Jones's Danny Rand. I just don't. I am barely neutral on Mike Coulter's Luke Cage, if I'm being honest. Just barely neutral. I mean, I thought Kristen Ritter was pretty good as Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is just not a character I really give a shit about. Like, so I just don't have any personal investment. I liked her show just fine. It was a little boring in parts, but I thought she was perfectly fine in the role. If they want to bring her back and give her some better material to work with, great. If they don't, you'll hear nothing out of me. I'll just be like, okay, it's fine. So,
you know who could have been a really good Luke Cage? The dude from The Boys.
Oh yeah,
Laz Alonso.
Yeah,
Mother's Milk. I think he could have been a really
I think he could have. Absolutely. I mean, look, that show is ending next season. He's gonna be free. I'm just saying. Why don't y'all just wait? Just wait a little bit.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it, especially after his run on The Boys.
Yeah. I mean, it in the way he plays it, it would be a very similar role, and maybe he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's probably why I can't jump to mine, because like that's essentially what that dude is. just rolling around in hip hop shirts.
Yeah, kicking ass
with a New York accent.
He don't even have to pretend. That nigga's from there. I guess him and Frenchie are kind of like Luke and Danny anyway. Like, it's pretty much the same.
Right.
Just pick the two of them. Like, you've been cast. Just go over there. Go to the trailer next door. So, all right, you want to bring them back? Cool. Just give them better material. Please, for the love of God, just give them better material. All right, next up.
All right, next up, Ayo Edebiri is tapped to write a live-action Barney for Mattel, A24, and Daniel Kaluuya.
A
wild headline, but the story is actually fairly.
Yeah, this is wild to me, man.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Momentum is gaining for A24's live-action Barney movie from Mattel Films and Daniel Kaluuya's 59% Productions, as the companies have set Emmy and Golden Globe winner Ayo Edebiri to write the screenplay and to have her in talks to star. First announced in 2019, the film's plot is being kept under wraps. Kevin McKeon and Andrew Scannell are overseeing for Mattel Films, with Robbie Brenner producing for Mattel. Yada, 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 yada. The purple dinosaur who has been a staple for children's television for decades, Barney was first introduced to the world via direct-to-video home series Barney and the Backyard Gang in 1988. Wow, Barney's that old?
Damn, really?
I feel like Barney didn't really come into prominence until I was well out of,
Yeah, like the early 90s.
No, but that's what it
Yeah.
says. The Barney and Friends series, which aired on PBS between 1992 and 2010. That's what we know it as.
Oh, okay. All right.
2010?
Yeah.
Yeah, it lasted that long.
That's how long it was. Yo, what the fuck? Good Lord.
And then when it ended, the world went to shit. See what happened? Y'all need that purple dinosaur to keep your asses together. Goddamn shame.
In a 2023 interview with the New Yorker, Mattel exec Kevin McKeon revealed that the live-action Barney would be an adult-oriented and surrealistic in the vein of films by Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze. Quote, we're leaning into the millennial angst of the property rather than fine-tuning this for kids. It's really a play for adults, not that it's R-rated, but it'll focus on some of the trials and tribulations of being 30-something growing up with Barney, just the level of disenchantment with this generation. Okay. Look, if A24 is kind of helping bankroll this thing, it's probably at least going to be an interesting premise. And Ayo Edebiri is really, really talented, and she's super funny. I remember her guest spot on Saturday Night Live. She gave it her all, right? Because this was like a dream for her to be on Saturday Night Live. So and it was one of the better episodes of that series. So, and there's another person I'm kind of rooting for. So we'll see.
I mean, her involvement.
These are three things that I enjoy. Like, I love A24 films. Daniel Kaluuya is great, and so is Ayo Edebiri. No, not Barney. I didn't watch that shit.
I love Barney. I love A24. Like,
so I'll give it. Look, I got to see a trailer because I don't know what the fuck kind of crazy shit is going to be going on in this movie.
I mean,
he's going to be someone's imaginary friend who grew up watching him, and he's going to.
You know what?
Knows?
That's actually a pretty. I actually like that. That's a pretty good premise.
That's probably
like
what it's going to be.
Like Barney just talking to this person who's just like a disenchanted fucking 30-year-old. Like, my life fucking.
Yeah, it's like
sucks.
a fucking 35-year-old.
Life sucks.
Around that age. Yeah, around that age.
And he's like, hey, be kind to your friends. Like, all right, fuck off, Barney. Yeah, that could totally work. And, by the way, not to be sort of understated here, but it's kind of cool that Daniel Kaluuya is doing a lot of work behind the scenes now. Like, his production company, I've heard a number of times it being referenced in other things. So that's dope. I think that's real cool. That's where the money is. Producing movies is where the big money is. And it's also where the vision is, right? You can kind of control what gets made. Look, here's some.
As we've seen, like, actors turn directors, producers, they be knocking it out of the park.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for her to be co-writing this is also a big deal. Because I feel like she's got a very disenchanted 35-year-old vibe to her herself. So
I don't even know if she's 30 yet.
Probably.
Honestly. That's the crazy part. I think she's like 27 years old or something.
Jesus, dude. She is fucking
How old is she? How old?
She's 29.
Jesus fucking Christ. What have I done in my life?
Did she write that episode of The Bear that she directed?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that was such a good episode. What was that?
That's the one where the woman was looking for the job, right?
Yes. Yeah, that shit was fucking. That was one of the best episodes of the season.
I think it was the best. I would agree.
Did it win something? Did she win for that?
She probably did. I mean, she's won like every fucking year. So here's some like fucked up breaking news, by the way. Roberto Orsi died. Many people would know him as sort of the guy who worked alongside Alex Kurtzman for the last number of years. He was only 51. Star Trek, Transformers, Hawaii Five-0 writer-producer. He got his start writing and producing on Xena Warrior Princess and Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. Disappointed. He also, some of his major credits were Mission Impossible 3, The Legend of Zorro, the Now You See Me franchise, The Proposal, Eagle Eye, The Mummy, as well as The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Dude was only 51 years old.
51. God damn.
Yeah, that stinks, man.
Yeah, he was public about past struggles with alcoholism and his recovery.
Oh.
So I don't know. They mentioned that, so I don't know if that is part of the reason for maybe he had a relapse. I don't know. Said at the time of his death, Orsi and his estranged wife, Adele Heather Taylor, had dueling lawsuits pending, each accusing each other of assault and abuse. Did you really need to put that last paragraph? Like, the dude just died.
Yeah, can we wait 6 hours?
Like, I feel like kind of a shitty person as I'm reading it. I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? Come on, man! Like, god damn it! Well, you didn't have to put that in there. That's fucked up.
Yeah, Roberta Flack passed like yesterday or something like that too.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Well, she was 88, so you know.
I mean, she had a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. 51. Look.
51.
Yeah. That's a real shame. That is a real shame. But yeah, there you go. Next up in topics, DC's Clayface finally lands a director. Speak No Evil director James Watkins. Terrence, you're a horror movie person. Have you seen Speak No Evil?
I saw both versions. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like this?
that was the one I told y'all about that.
Yeah.
They Americanized the ending of the
oh, with a couple. Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
With what's his name? The fuck is his name?
Professor X.
James McAvoy. Yeah.
Yeah. He the guy who's slowly morphing into Gerard Butler.
Right. He really is. It's pretty funny. Yeah. The American version.
Not as good.
I don't like. No, it wasn't.
But did you like?
They had to give you a happy ending. It was fine up until like the last 30 minutes. But what is he directing? What's he doing?
So he's doing Clayface. I don't know what else he's done, but yeah, Clayface, Batman villain, obviously introduced in 1940 and known for his ability to shapeshift. Sources say the film is budgeted at $40 million and is a Hollywood horror tale centering on a B-movie actor who injects himself with a substance that keeps himself relevant, only to find out that it can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking piece of clay. The movie is due to shoot later this year and is meant to show the breadth of DC material from the big-budget superhero affairs such as Superman on one side of the spectrum and lesser-known characters in projects that are more modestly budgeted. $40 million is not a lot of money. If he can pull off something really dope, that actually would be quite cool. Quite cool to see.
It's plenty of money for a horror movie. If it's going to be like a horror themed movie.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest budget
you're going to have is the visual effects.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything else is.
And like, honestly, if you can do fucking practical, you can do some cool practical shit. They could figure it out.
I mean, it might work better, to be honest. So we'll see. I mean, my guess is a lot of it'll be sort of shadow play for a large part of that movie. Like he walks through a shadow and then his face changes. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to show the face morphing all the time. And then my guess is you get maybe one or two big moments of him like fully as what we would think of Clayface. And that's it. And that's fine if the story is compelling enough. Like it doesn't, you don't need much more than that. So, okay. All right. Next up, Kathleen Kennedy to step down from Lucasfilms by the end of 2025. Micah,
and
can you hear?
Are rejoicing everywhere.
Right. I was just going to ask Micah, can you hear white men screaming for joy, celebrating over the hill? Longtime president of Lucasfilms, Kathleen Kennedy, again expected to step down by the end of 2025. She intends to retire after her current contract ends, according to the source with knowledge of her plans. A separate source close to Kennedy, however, dismissed the initial report as, quote, pure speculation. It said nothing has been decided. Something has been decided. Whether she decided it or not, that's clear. Kennedy joined Lucasfilms in 2012 as a co-chair alongside Star Wars creator George Lucas. Shortly after, Lucas exited his post as Disney acquired the company for $4 billion and Kennedy was elevated to president.
Do you want to go through her Star Wars tenure?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
2015, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Okay. Star Wars hadn't been around for a while. It came back, gave you that, like, you know, feeling of old Star Wars, right? Like, it played it safe. It was, I enjoyed it. It was fine. 2016, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Probably my second favorite Star Wars movie.
100%.
If I'm being perfectly honest.
Like
that movie
period,
was,
like out of the entire,
like, period.
like
Yeah.
That's I've never watched it.
It's really good. It's a war movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a war movie. You know what that movie is? That movie, you know, the opening crawl of episode 4? Like, that's the movie. Like, someone took those 2 or 3 paragraphs. Yeah, on the first
episode 4, the first one, right? Okay.
Yeah. Someone took that opening crawl and was just like, let's just make this.
Yeah. And you know what?
They did it. And they pulled it off.
Shit was really good.
Yeah. 2017, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Look, you say what you want about that movie. That movie took some swings, and I appreciated it. Like,
it taking out The Force Awakens as an option, because again, it was just a rehash of another Star Wars movie, to play it safe. But it's the favorite out of those 2 left in the trilogy by far. People say it's the worst
for
one.
me.
I fucking agree. That last movie was a fucking garbage factory. Holy shit. But yeah, The Last Jedi took risks. It did. It didn't all work out, but it took risks. I agree with you.
And these are movies. I'll get to the television shows in a minute. But after that was 2018, Solo: A Star Wars Story. You know,
no,
I didn't. No. 2019 was Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. That's the third in the trilogy.
That was horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was not good. She also did Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which
I saw that.
I didn't.
Them niggas went back in time.
Yeah, I wish that. I bet she wishes she could use the Dial of Destiny to go back and
make that
rethink that movie. And then The Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026 is coming out. Her, as far as television, she produced The Mandalorian, which, you know, people love. The first season was really good, and then it kind of, your mileage may vary with the other ones. The Book of Boba Fett, I didn't really care for it. You don't need to demystify Boba Fett, right? The reason people like Boba Fett is because he was dope.
He was a mystery.
And, right, he was a big mystery.
And nigga in a fucking helmet in a jetpack, right? And
right.
Look, the best thing they ever did for Boba Fett in any of these series is when he showed up the first time in The Mandalorian and he just kicked the dog shit out of all those stormtroopers. That should have been the end of it. When he got his armor back and it was like, oh shit, this guy's not fucking around. That should have been the end of it. You could have would have kept the lore and then just moved on. And then they ruined it.
Yeah, and then they showed you how the sausage was made. And it was like, here, this is the hammer that we use to bludgeon the cow. Boom! And it's just like, yo, I don't want to see this. Like, come on, yo.
He was like, hey, I just got finished talking shit to somebody. I'm gonna go take a bath. That was every episode. Like, what are we doing? That's being
and then Andor, which, you know, is for my money the crown jewel of Star Wars television. It's the closest thing to prestige television Star Wars has ever had, and I'm really excited for season 2. After that was Ahsoka, which I enjoyed, but you know, I was never I think if you watch the Dave Filoni shows, then that's where you really got to appreciate it. The Acolyte had a lot of promise, but it was written very, very, like, I don't know what they were doing in terms of like having these characters say these things and do these things. It just
what's the famous story Harrison Ford tells? He's like, he went when he was working on Star Wars, like the originals. He went to George Lucas. He's like, "Can you read this? Because you understand that we have to say these words out loud. You can't just write any fucking thing down, George. Like, what the fuck is this?" It was like, human beings have to read this. Like, oh, sorry. Like, people don't talk like this.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what Acolyte felt like. And look,
And
that felt more like they had a really good concept of a show than when it, like, they were really good at like the storyboarding out and all that other stuff. And it was like, okay, now let's write the dialogue. And everyone was like, why not just shit in my hand and we could just turn that in? And everyone was like, all right, that's what the fuck.
And then Skeleton Crew. And I think you said you like Skeleton Crew.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's very much in that vein of like 80s kid movies, like where like PG-13, they were just like, let little kids watch it. Like, that seems strange. But it has that like Flight of the Navigator type vibe to it, ET type vibe. Yeah, it works for kids. I think it's actually quite well done.
So, for me, she's batting like 250, right? Like it's not the things that I really like, and the things that I don't, I really don't. But a lot of it is just kind of like in the middle. And as long as it makes money, in the middle is fine for these companies. But look, her tenure is, she's just like every other movie producer, right? Like that, especially a movie producer that doesn't really know the source material. I'm presuming she doesn't, right? Like a Kevin Feige kind of grew up on Marvel Comics and had kind of a vision. That's what Kathleen Kennedy didn't have. She didn't have a vision for what Star Wars should be.
Right.
And which is why that sequel trilogy was just all over the place. Right?
You started building the plane while they were flying it. It was clear. They did not have a vision at all.
And just because the first trilogy worked like that doesn't mean that the last one, it doesn't mean you should still do that, right? There have been advancements in technology where we do not have to fly the plane, build the plane while we're flying it, right?
I mean, the funny thing is, you literally can't do that when you're doing the latter third of this, this mega saga. You can't do that because there's so much lore and everything else that you have to attenuate. So like this idea that you're just like, I don't know, bro. Like, you can't. Like, it actually, in fairness to her, right? It's actually harder to do those movies because there are so many strings that are tied to every little thing that you do that it all has to make sense. But that's why you have to build out a really hardcore plan. You cannot wing it. It's much easier for Lucas to wing it in the beginning because there's no expectation.
Because nobody knew anything. Right? Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to light up swords. How does that make sense? Why doesn't it just keep going? Because it can't. All right? Fucking next question. Shut up. Get it off my back. And so he can just do whatever he wants. But you can't do that in, episode 7, 8, and 9. It just doesn't work. So I'm not giving.
But at the same time, because like at the same time, you kind of got to know what you're dealing with. You can't just hey, J.J. Abrams, make a Star Wars movie. He made the most Star Wars movie for a mass audience, right? And then you give it to Rian Johnson. It's like, hey, Rian Johnson, make a Star Wars movie. And he made the most Rian Johnson-ass Star Wars movie ever, right? And it's just like, oh shit. Like there's no, like you said, there's no cohesion there. And that comes from her, right? That comes from the producers. You know what I'm saying? So, if she's gone, that's fine. If she stays, that's also fine. I would hope that, some sort of vision would be instilled in this next, in this new era of Star Wars that we're about to get. Now, I've seen people say, well, it's Dave Filoni's time. It's Dave Filoni's time, right? He could be the Kevin Feige. And he could, but I would hope that he wouldn't be like, he's really into it, right? Like he's so into it, he created a character and everybody loves that character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want him to be like, and then this is what happened next, right? Like that's kind of like you got to also like appeal to a mass audience to a point.
So
you know what I mean? You can't get so in the weeds,
right? Because there is an aspect of this which I know that Uber fans are going to miss, which is there's a business to this, right? It's not just being a mega fan. It's great if they're a mega fan and they got a business sense. If you look at DC, you got the guy's head in DC. You got a business guy in Peter Safran, and you got a mega nerd who's into it. The combination of those two is really, really good because James Gunn can go, all right, here's my idea. And Peter Safran's like, all right, that's like mad expensive. And does that make sense? And like, how do we market this and all this other stuff? Or Peter Safran can go, hey, we need to make $1 billion. Why don't we just shove all these things? And James Gunn's like, whoa, Batman can't fly. Why are you saying that? Right? Like if you have 50% that doesn't understand the other 50%, you're in a world of trouble. Right? So there's actually, to that point, the Hollywood Reporter has a story out titled Disney Star Wars Secession Problem, Who Will Replace Kathleen Kennedy? And so it gives a couple of options here. Jon Favreau, who obviously is directing The Mandalorian. They said, oh, well, he kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man. He's a director, okay? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't.
That's exactly.
I don't even think he would want to. Right, I don't even think he would want to do it.
I don't think so.
To be perfectly honest with you,
no, I don't think he would at all. Although I think he's having really good time, and I think he's having really good success with The Mandalorian. Just let him do that. Just let him do that.
Yeah, you don't want your side hustle to be your main hustle. You know what I mean? Because then you hate it.
Right, because that's exactly what happened to Snyder. He did Man of Steel, and they're just like, here's the whole thing, and he's like, okay, like, and then it just that to me is a terrible choice. Dave Filoni is an obvious one. Kevin Feige, J.J. Abrams, Emma Watts. Watts is a respected executive with a longtime president of production at 20th Century Fox, who, among others, notched franchise experience by steering the X-Men into the toilet, including launching Deadpool, James Cameron's Avatar, amongst other things. Then there's Hannah Minghella, who is from Bad Robot. She's a former employee, but she's also launched things for Sony like the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs franchise, the Hotel Transylvania franchise, Jumanji, and Goosebumps. And then there's one other choice, which is Favreau or Filoni plus. And I think that is the correct choice. I would give it to Dave Filoni and maybe this Emma Watts person, or even Hannah Minghella. Like, those might be good choices. But if you're going to do it, get a mega nerd and a person who knows business. Like, that is going to work out the best for you. They got incredibly lucky with Kevin Feige being a mega nerd and a business guy. Like, that you're not going to find that everywhere. It is okay to split the duties. It's better, I think, honestly. So we'll see. And no, I don't think Kevin Feige is going to move over to Star Wars. That makes no fucking sense at all. It doesn't.
No, I don't think he would. I don't think he would either. So
that dude,
I don't know. We'll see.
Still spinning gold. So okay, next up, this is kind of an interesting story. Maybe post-COVID scripts are a thing. Like we talked about, Captain America, Brave New World was a COVID script, and that didn't do so great because it was kind of a Frankenstein script. However, I didn't know this, but apparently Moana 2 broke $1 billion. Hey, I thought, what happened to Go Woke or Broke? Those motherfuckers got real quiet. Nobody talking about this shit. I did not realize this until today. And look, I'm on record in saying I didn't think Moana 2 was amazing, mostly because the music I thought just fucking stunk. But look, just hire people of color for the love of God. But it did do very well, and I thought the script was fine. I thought it was fine, but it clearly was cohesive enough to tell this story and also be like, they're making another one, that it pulled in a little over $1 billion recently.
Yeah.
And it had a 105-day window in theaters, which on average, you're getting 45 days. Because that movie was doing
Wait, when
that
did
well.
it come out?
Like 100.
It's been out that long? I didn't even know it was even out that long, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it finally hit streaming on March 12th. My daughter is chomping at the fucking bit about it. It had a 105-day theatrical window. They had like an advertisement for it on Disney Plus. She was like, Moana 2's out. I was like, it doesn't come out until the 12th. Like, just.
Oh, that shit came out in November. Damn, really? Huh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I made $1 billion. What the fuck?
Yeah. And this quarter, it says, which ended in December, also featured Mufasa, the Lion King. That made $653 million.
$600 million.
Yeah. The prior year period, the quarter last year had the Marvels and Wish in it, and those did not do well, and those very much felt like COVID scripts. So, yeah. The studio division swung to a $312 million profit from a year earlier loss of $244 million on revenue, up 34% to $2.2 billion. Last year, Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine made a splash. Analyst Alan Gould has noted that the biggest fundamental change at Disney as of late is, quote, the studio is executing creatively again. And success there, execs reiterated today, can flow into consumer product sales, theme park attendance, and streaming engagement. So, yeah, look, I think I'm not saying like Disney's going to be back to like billion dollar type movies. But I think this idea that they were just going to flounder forever, I think is just kind of bullshit. Like it just doesn't make sense. They do have Snow White next week. I don't know how well that's going to do.
I don't think it's going to do well, though, honestly.
No, I don't.
I've heard nothing but like complaints about that entire thing just from the trailers alone.
Yeah, the amount.
All right, well,
like, okay, I'm going to be honest here. I don't care about Snow White. I really don't. I don't care about the woman who's playing Snow White. I don't give a fuck about the dwarves. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But if I'm trying to make a movie that I can put out to make as much money as I can and not get it fucking handicapped by online trolls, probably not going to make a Snow White movie starring a Latin woman. Feels like maybe a fucking mistake. Sorry. It just feels like a mistake. Like, it's like you're edging for like, what do you think, guys? What do you think they're going to think? What do you think they're going to think, yo? Her name is Snow White, yo. It's not, like, come on, man. Like, and sometimes I think, like, are you trying to do this just to see? You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. She could be as brown as me. I don't care. Right? They had a fucking mermaid movie with the black chick in it. I thought the movie was fucking terrible. Not because she was black. She could pick her ass up. The movie just fucking sucked. But then again, I don't think The Little Mermaid is a very good cartoon. I don't think I will say this, the dude who was co-starring in it was one of the worst singers I've ever fucking seen. Like, just fucking fundamentally awful. And I can't sing at all. And I was like, damn, nigga, you sound like me. It was fucking awful. So I don't care about that. But at the same time, I'm like, really? You thought the whole Snow White thing was going to? Okay, fine. Whatever. Sure. So I'm not gonna see it. I don't give a fuck about Snow White. Call me when they make a what is it? Sleeping Beauty. That's got better action. It's a better movie.
What's
but
the
you get
difference? Which one is which? Wait.
Yeah, which one is which? Because they both like are just women who are incapacitated. They get roofied and gotta wait for a man to come save them. Right? These Disney princesses, right? Yeah,
the way the world really works. Obviously.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Snow White and the Seven.
I know Snow White gets put the
bites the fucking apple, and she's like, oh, and she falls out.
Wait, that's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Yes, that's the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. She bites the apple.
What the fuck is Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty.
I thought she bit the apple.
No, Sleeping Beauty. Jesus Christ. My God. It's only because like the last couple of years I've had to watch all this shit. Sleeping Beauty, when she's born to her parents, I can't believe I know all of this. When she's born to her parents, fucking Angelina Jolie shows up and she's like, aha, I'm an evil fucking witch. And so
Maleficent?
Yeah.
I
She
know
shows
that
up.
movie. I've never seen it, but like I know she was in it.
Yeah. But
Okay.
she shows up. And by the way, when you do Sleeping Beauty, you should just pick her.
I thought Sleeping Beauty was. Was Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
What am I thinking of? Well, who had the wicked stepmother and the stepsisters? Which one was that?
That's Cinderella, nigga. What the fuck?
Wait, what? I thought that was fucking The Wizard of Oz.
Jesus. Yo, this is the weirdest old man conversation of all time. Who that? That's crazy. So anyway, Sleeping Beauty, when she was born, Maleficent came and was like, I have a gift for the fucking, the princess or whatever. And she was like,
it wasn't an apple?
No, she was like surprised on her, on her 16th birthday, she's going to prick her needle on a loom
or some shit.
Yeah, and when she pricks her finger, she's gonna fall asleep forever, and that's it. And basically, her fairy godmothers, these three other nice witches or what have you, they were like, well, we can't stop that from happening. We can't change the spell, but if a prince kisses her, then she'll wake up. That's the best we can do. And so they take her off and they raise her, unbeknownst to her, that they all have powers. And then her dumbass is like, I wonder what this loom is. And she touches it and it's like, and she's
Why
drawn
didn't the fairy
to it.
godmothers just lock away the loom?
No, she went somewhere.
It?
She
she went
any
somewhere
loom,
else.
Any loom. Not
any. Well, what the fuck?
Any loom?
Like if she pricked her finger.
Yeah. So the spell is like if I prick my finger on a loom that hasn't even been made yet.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter where the fuck
magic.
It could have been in a factory.
Yeah,
and then
magic.
Bam. Yeah, that's the dumbest fucking plot I've ever heard in my life.
But then Prince,
what the fuck are we talking
Adam
about?
or whatever comes and he fucking fights the thorny bushes and then takes on Maleficent. She turns into a dragon. It's not better action.
And that's Sleeping Beauty. We're talking about Sleeping Beauty, right? This is not Cinderella, nothing like that, right?
Yeah. No, that's Sleeping Beauty. And then Snow White, the witch, she gives her the apple. She turns into the old lady and she's like, you should try this apple. It's delicious. And she's like, okay. And she bites it and she fucking passes out. Then eventually she falls off a cliff and dies. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Wait, what?
Yeah. At the end
I don't think I've ever seen any of these cartoons, yo.
They're all on Disney, yo. They're all on Disney.
I gotta tell you,
I've seen going back and watching those movies, they're fucked up. You're like, yo, why were you showing this to children? Yeah, she
fell off a cliff?
Yes. Go pull up on Disney Plus right now. You just watch it. It's fucked up. She looks all crazy, like, she dies.
Oh wait, you talking about the evil queen falls off the cliff?
Yeah, she pretends that she turns into an old lady.
Snow White fell off the cliff.
I thought you were talking about Snow White fell off a cliff.
Yo, that would be a wild ending. That's the new ending. In the live action, Snow White is gonna fall off a cliff and die. That's the end. Like crap.
I want to see how they ugly Gal Gadot up. When
they don't, when she turns into the old lady.
When she turns into the old lady and is like, "Here, try this apple. It's good for you." See, kids, there's the lesson: don't eat fruit.
I've long said on this show, apples are the worst fruit. They're the worst fruit. If you eat one, you're gonna die. So yeah, Disney's on a fucking maybe on a little bit of a mini tear. So I think Snow White will be a bit of a hiccup, but Fantastic Four, First Steps, and then Lilo and Stitch, I believe, also. So live action Lilo and Stitch, and then Zootopia 2, and then the third installment of Avatar. Look, Zootopia was great. So
I like Zootopia.
Yeah,
Zootopia was pretty good.
Yeah, Jason Bateman was awesome in that movie. He's just being himself, like he is in everything. But I enjoyed it. All right, next up, guy who can't draw feet criticizes successful producer. I don't like this guy. Rob Liefeld had the balls to say that Kevin Feige should step down from Marvel, quote, get off the mound, because Captain America 4 did not do well. He didn't step down when Thor 2 didn't do well. There's been plenty of movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that have not done well. And then they have movies that make billions of dollars. So, okay. What do you want to run it?
Weird in this picture.
He's a weirdo.
Odd-looking gentleman.
You know what's really silly about this is that, one, this came out right after like Rob Liefeld like officially like is distancing himself from Marvel, probably because he's pissed that like he's not receiving any residuals from the character that he helped create in Deadpool. Oh, but you have an argument. You have an argument. You have an argument. Okay, I'll give you that. But the thing that's really kind of silly about Rob Liefeld is that, yes, he created Deadpool, but he didn't create the Deadpool that's popular. He didn't create the Deadpool that everybody knows.
Right.
He didn't create the Deadpool that's breaking the fourth wall, that's eating chimichangas. No, he created the Deadpool that is 100% a serious hitman that was a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Yep.
The Deadpool that has all the personality, the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, the Deadpool that every cosplayer goes to these cons and dresses like just so they can act like pricks in public. That Deadpool, he didn't create that guy. He created a generic ass villain by ripping off another character. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy for Rob Liefeld.
Zero.
Especially for someone who essentially did all but plagiarize a character, telling someone else who is hyper successful with a lot of misses as of late, if I'm being perfectly honest, that he needs to quit his job, or he needs to be fired, essentially. Like, that's rich coming from, a guy who's kind of a hack.
Yeah.
All right. As you were talking, I was scrolling through his drawings. They're upsetting.
They're really good.
His drawings are upsetting to me. Like he's got like a lot of holes in these pictures. Like, what's going on with these pictures? People's skin in this. These are very upsetting to me. I don't like it. I don't like his.
You don't like the chest, the fucking.
No,
you've seen that.
I've seen that picture before.
Captain America.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, these are weird. Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on?
I'd go out on a limb and say he's not a very good artist.
I mean, look, it was the 90s. The artists in the 90s did not know what anatomy was, and it wasn't just him. Right, like,
that's very true.
Look at any woman drawn in the 90s, and look at the sexy scoliosis that they have. They're just fucking bent around like an S. And it wasn't exclusively to
what
him,
is this?
But
yeah, I didn't like this
picture, bro.
Like, 90s art was really bad. Like, a lot of it was really bad. Not all, but like all of it was over. It felt like somebody should have taken their stencils away. Like, it was just like, oh, I gotta fucking edge every little. It's like, all right. This is just overly busy. Yeah, I didn't care for this era. It's just really, really stupid. That being said, Rob Liefeld is OpenAI to DeepSeek. He's literally bitching and complaining about how this other guy came in and ate his lunch. It's like, this isn't fair. This guy is ripping me off and I'm not getting any money and he's doing this. But you got all your shit by ripping off DC. You don't get to complain about anything. So shut up. Why don't you make money off of any of your other characters that you've probably ripped off, like Agent America and other things?
Agent America?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay. Does he look like Captain America?
Take a guess. Yeah. So
Nigga, come on.
right.
Come on.
Yeah, Agent America. Totally different guy. Totally different.
Yeah, that's like Mr. America, right? Remember Mr. America? The guy that was never in the same place as Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
hey, brother.
All right.
Yeah. Gross.
I wouldn't even give this nigga the time of day.
Nobody
these drawings
does.
Are fucking terrible, yo.
Nobody.
These drawings are they suck. Like who? Like they're making me uncomfortable, yo. What's that fucking phobia? Like when there's like a whole bunch of holes and shit that trip you out. That's what his drawings are doing to me right now. They're fucking freaking me out.
It's like agoraphobia.
Tryptophobia, something.
I don't know.
I forgot. Yeah.
Like the way like he drew so many lines around a person's eyes to I guess to indicate like depth or whatever. It's like, no, it just looks like they've been attacked by bees. Like this is just really weird. Everybody's face is like,
yeah, like what is all of the extra fucking detail that doesn't exist in anyone's face? I don't get it.
He makes his characters look like they're all in the process of taking the most brutal shit they've ever had to take. They're like, fuck. Like, you never seen the images of when they snap photos of the faces of like Olympic divers as they're in the middle of like flips and shit, and they're just like that, like they're under massive G forces. Like it's that sort of thing. And yeah, I don't think you should be talking about anybody, bro. Like get your fucking drawing up. And I know what you're thinking. Jay, can you draw? The answer is no. And that's why I wouldn't criticize someone.
That's why I don't. Right.
And that's why I wouldn't say. That's why I wouldn't say that I could do a better job or pretend that I could. Because even though Rob Liefeld is a fucking shit artist, he's a better artist than me. However, when it comes to producing and making movies, you're shit at that job, so you shouldn't be criticizing Kevin Feige. And thinking that you could possibly do a better job. Look, having a couple of losses under your belt with a shit ton of wins, like nobody's perfect, man. Like nobody's perfect. So when, it will be hilarious to see people say, oh, he should step down. And then you get a bunch of hits in a row and it's like, oh, we never said that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So just let the man do his thing. Okay. What the fuck brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Micah, take it away.
I think you're going to get this one. A woman is taking legal action against a fertility clinic after an error essentially made her an unwitting surrogate, carrying and eventually adopting another couple's baby, forcing it to give up custody. The day Christina Murray. All right. Well, guess
white.
The day Christina Murray learned she was pregnant after undergoing IVF treatment at the Coastal Fertility Clinic in May 2023.
Yeah, this is in America.
The happiest day of her life. Yeah, this is in America. But the happiness soon turned to horror when she gave birth in December of that same year. Despite being white and having chosen a white sperm donor, Christina gave birth to a black boy. Only she didn't allow her family and friends to see the baby. And in January of last year, the DNA test confirmed that she and the baby were not genetically related. She alerted the IVF clinic about the terrible mix-up, but decided to keep the baby and even got to raise it for a few months until his biological parents filed for custody. Quote, to carry a baby, fall in love with him, deliver him, and build the uniquely special bond between a mother and a baby, all to have that taken away. I'll never fully recover from this. She said in a statement, the woman voluntarily gave up custody of the baby she carried in her womb after her legal team told her that she stood no chance. That's what you got. of being granted custody over his biological parents.
Did it say that's what you got? It didn't say that. Please tell me it didn't say that. God damn. What kind of fucking lawyer is that? That's what you got. No chance. That's
didn't get that joke.
Yeah, that's a
wrestling
reference. That's a wrestling reference. Yeah,
Wrestling.
That's a Mr. McMahon reference.
This story is fucked up all the way around.
I'm
it's fucked
super
up.
sad.
It's super sad all the way around.
Man. I'm super sad. You know the story is really bad.
Florida.
When I'm feeling sad for a white woman. But yeah,
this is fucked up for everybody. Yo. That is.
Yeah, this is sad, man. Like, these people get paid a ton of money. Look, you know, we had our children through IVF because we're old, and that's what we do when you're old.
Big couples
and yeah, and we were the 1 in 8, and it is it's, you know, like you got to keep that stuff like. The one that we went to, Shady Grove Fertility, shout out, they're really good. Like,
Shady Grove. I don't think I would have went to a place called Shady Grove.
Shady Grove is a place. It's one of the best places in the country to go, actually. But go ahead. We went to the same place. Yes.
Like that just sounds off to me. Like,
Shady
I've seen
Grove,
way too many movies.
Look, come to Shady
like
Grove. It's right near
mental
Lynchburg, Virginia. Come on down. Like,
oh my God. Shady Grove. Okay. No,
but they, you know, they do a very, very good job of like logging and keeping everything under lock and key. It's super. So they take it incredibly seriously.
What the fuck?
This place was like,
as they should from a moral standpoint, and as they should from a financial standpoint, folks. Let me tell you, like, it costs a lot of money to get this procedure done.
Yeah, no
and a lot of it is on us, right? Like, we got to do a lot of stuff, right? Like, anyway. So yeah, this is gross negligence from coastal fertility specialists. I'm trying to find out where they are located, but they have
I want to say it's either Georgia or Florida. I can't remember.
They have some in Savannah, Georgia, Myrtle Beach, Columbia, South Carolina, Somerville, and Charleston. So it could be one of those places, but go to Shady Grove next time, yo.
No, I mean, the fucked up thing is, like, when I saw the story initially, there was
Georgia.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I thought it was. When I saw that story initially, it was like on Instagram or some shit, and I'm like, this is super fucked up for everybody involved. And people were like, I don't know why that woman want to keep that baby. She birthed that fucking child, you idiot.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
You don't have a child.
You don't have a child. Yo, that is the most insane. I'm like, and like, I cannot imagine what that woman was going through. Like, yeah, it's the day you're giving birth, and it's like, wait, what the fuck? But you don't hate this child. It's not the child's fault. Like, what the fuck, man? It's just fucked up. It's just super fucked up for everybody. Yeah, I think she had the child for like 5 months or something, which is just crazy. So, yeah,
that's crazy. I mean,
I honestly feel sorry for everybody involved. And there was like one reasonable person in the comments was like, that woman should not be able to keep the child because obviously it's not biologically hers, and the biological parents want the child, which makes sense, right? And they were like, she should have to give up the child, but she should also be paid tens of millions of dollars in restitution.
Yeah.
Like, you are 100% correct.
Yeah, for fucking
100%.
pain and suffering, psychological. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
That place should be shut the fuck down for the amount of money they owe that woman. 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, how many times does that potentially happen where the donors just happen to be the same race?
Right?
So, or like, she had clearly a sperm donor. What if they fucked up and gave the wrong sperm? It was a white guy, but it's not the person she originally chose, right? Some other dad from another fucking family or some shit like that, right? Like, nah, man, that's just gross negligence. Like, pay that woman everything you fucking owe her and then add more to it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Nah, I'd be suing y'all niggas into a billion.
Yes, yeah, that's super sad.
Like, super fucked up, yo. And if you're telling me, oh, that woman, fuck that woman, you're an asshole, yo. And you don't understand how kids work. Like, you're an asshole. Just shut up. To Micah's point, he's feeling sorry for a white woman. That's how bad it is. That's how bad. Good Lord. He has barely any humor. All right, Terrence, you're up. Make us laugh.
This ain't funny. Doctors find 5 contact lenses lost behind a woman's eyeball.
Disagree. Disagree, Jesus.
because
Five?
of course. 5. How?
What does she think it was a fucking slot machine? Why does she keep putting them back there? You can't find one. Stop.
How do you... A team of plastic surgeons recently reported that the bizarre case of a 33-year-old woman who had lost no less than 5 contact lenses behind her left eye.
Oh my God.
How do you... Behind the left eye?
Fucking...
I don't even understand. I
don't know how contacts work. Do they like roll around?
They can move.
See, that's why I would never do.
I mean, when you put them on,
I don't want to hear what you have to say right now about contact lenses. Like I don't.
Are you mad?
No, you got 5 of them shits. 5 of them bitches was behind her eye, yo.
Yeah, that's.
Like, I don't.
Your head is a fucking trash can, yo. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's the patient referred to only as Miss A arrived at the plastic surgery hospital, in this place to have her hemifacial atrophy treated. What the hell? Okay, treated in order to improve her facial symmetry. So she was just wilding the whole time. The initial examination results showed that the left side of her face was atrophied and her left eyeball was slightly sunken. After carefully examining the woman's face, the medical team decided to use autologous, good Lord, I hate medical terms, fat grafting to mitigate the effects of her condition. What they didn't count on was finding not 1, but 5 different contact lenses while grafting fat into the empty space behind the... What the fuck kind of surgery is this? Like, what are you talking about?
What you get when you take Ozempic too much, and then you got to fill in the gauntness of your face with the fat on your body.
This says what they didn't count on was finding not 1, but 5 different contact lenses while grafting fat into the empty space behind the eyeball.
This woman's a psychopath.
I don't even understand
this woman is a psychopath. What, did she explain how they got there?
She told doctors that she had lost several contact lenses in the past few months, but never imagined they were stuck in her eye. Miss A had been wearing contact lenses for several years, and the hemifacial atrophy created just enough space for them to disappear into. Oh, so the hemifacial atrophy or whatever the fuck that is. I guess it created a space behind. So she didn't realize that she didn't take them off, and they were just sliding behind her eyeball.
Well, maybe
when she was sleeping in them.
No, I mean maybe not
any of this.
I mean, maybe she thought she took it out and then like thought she dropped it or whatever. I had a friend who thought he took didn't take his contact lens out, and he was like pulling at his eye. It turns out he had already taken it out, which is pretty gross.
See, nigga, like come on.
Just wear glasses, yo. Just wear glasses. Just wear glasses.
Don't.
And look, as this is, I'm talking from a place of privilege. I've never had to wear glasses before, but
you will.
I don't know, man. Just wear glasses.
Just wear glasses.
Well, if y'all assholes didn't make fun of people wearing glasses, maybe they wouldn't feel so in dire need to put these old
Look, all you gotta do if you wear glasses, especially as a young person, if you wear glasses, somebody making fun of you, just be like, I'm smart and you're dumb. That's why I have the glasses.
Because that's what glasses do. Make you
smart. But I think making fun of people wearing glasses now, like that's just not really a thing. Right? Like,
it's not a thing.
It's not anything.
People wear glasses with no fucking lenses in them just to look cool. I'm like,
yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah, that's dumb, yo. At least put non-prescription lenses in them. You know what I mean? Like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Hemifacial atrophy is a condition in which the fatty tissue inside the eye atrophies and the eyeball shrinks. When fat was injected behind, what the fuck, man? When fat was injected behind her eye, it pushed out 5 different contact lenses she had thought had fallen out accidentally.
So wait.
Fortunately, there were no problems caused by the contact lenses remaining. Mr.
So her eyes, like as small, like a bead, like it shrinks.
I don't think it gets quite that small.
I mean, well, where did this take place?
Don't do that.
I want to say the UK.
Don't
I
fucking.
want to say the UK.
You're an asshole. Don't do that. Because I clicked on the story. I see where it's from. You're a piece of shit.
Oh, you already know where it is.
I saw where it's from. You're a piece of shit. Yeah. Go ahead, tell them.
Anyway, it's China.
Yeah,
It's China.
Yeah, okay. Let's just move the fuck on.
Fortunately, it didn't hurt his. It didn't fuck his eyes up. Okay. The bizarre case has been attracting the attention of ophthalmologists and other medical communities because it's reportedly the first case in which multiple contact lenses have been confirmed to have been hidden inside the conjunctiva. Wait, was it inside? I don't know what the fuck conjunctiva is. Let me go ahead and Google that. Yeah, this story is gross. I don't like it. I hate it. Don't like any of it. The mucous membrane that covers the front of the eye and lines the inside of it. Oh, so it was like it grafted itself into his eye.
Oh. No thanks. No thank you. Yuck.
This is terrible. This is awful. JTD.
Agreed. This is perfect for Terrence. Thank you. My story: man suffers intestine necrosis after fiance electrocutes his belly for 3 hours as premarital pain test. Okay.
Wait, what did she want him to feel? How it felt to be pregnant?
Yeah.
Contraction?
Was this just a
Is
kid?
that what it was?
Yep. A woman subjected her fiance to simulated childbirth pain for 3 hours as a sick pre-marriage test that caused the man to develop intestine necrosis and undergo emergency surgery. See, we're not meant to have this happen to us. This is a y'all thing, not an us thing. We can't.
What the fuck?
It's not uncommon.
3 hours.
But why for 3 hours? Right? Like zap. Okay, I got it. This fucking sucks. I'll rub your feet.
It hurts.
Like, stop doing that. That hurts. Nah, she don't like this dude, yo. That's why she hooked into this machine and just fucking zapped this nigga.
This is a premarital test?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Hey,
what? Okay.
Guess what?
I don't even understand.
Guess what?
The test?
We failed the test. We're not getting married.
Yeah, we're not getting married, you
right.
bitch. Like,
I'm leaving.
Like, now I'm in surgery.
I can't afford to marry you. I have to get new intestines. Buy them on the black market. It's not uncommon for people to test their partners in various ways to see if they're right for each other, but some people like to take it a bit far. Case in point, a young woman who reportedly subjected her fiancé to 3 hours of electric shocks to the stomach as a twisted way of simulating the pain of childbirth. It's unclear why the man accepted the test, pussy, or if he had any idea what he was getting into. He was trying to get into something, yeah. But he clearly didn't expect to develop intestine necrosis and have to get emergency surgery because of it. The horrific experience convinced him to not only break off the engagement, smart, but also sue the woman he was going to marry for damages. Also smart.
How though? Like, what was it connected? Was it connected to his abdomen, and she was just electrocuting his abdomen for 3 hours straight?
Yeah, it's like one of the
intestine died.
Let's find out.
Through the skin.
The woman.
Like a fricassee, right?
You can't say you fricassee. You can't say that. Yeah, like that's insane. The woman wrote on social media that her mother and sister suggested that she make her fiance experience the pain of childbirth before getting married to ensure that he would be more considerate to his wife. At first, the man opposed the idea vehemently, probably a good idea, but she insisted, and he reluctantly agreed in the end. The grueling test took place in a maternity care facility run by the woman's sister. See, that's why I was allowed to continue.
Oh, come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. They were trying to kill
They were trying to
kill this man. They were setting his ass up, yo. They were setting his ass up.
Using an electrical stimulation device designed specifically to simulate the pain of childbirth, the woman subjected her fiance to increasingly stronger electrical shocks to the stomach for 3 hours. In her online confession, the woman wrote that she slowly increased the intensity of the electrical current for the first 90 minutes, then cranked up the power to maximum for another 90 minutes.
Did she just leave it on?
Here's my confusion.
I don't understand.
Why did you sit there and take it? Just take the things off. Hey, you're a pussy.
Maybe it was like
cool.
Maybe it was like strapped into it or some shit, right? Like
this nigga.
I don't know, man.
This nigga's a fool.
I don't know.
My boyfriend started to feel miserable from level 8. I couldn't help. He couldn't help cursing by level 10. The woman wrote. At level 12, he was sweating and breathing rapidly due to severe pain. And you kept going. Okay. By the end of the experience, he was completely exhausted and his stomach was as hard as a board.
She sous vide that nigga's insides. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
That night, the man experienced she literally boiled his guts. That night, the man experienced several abdominal pain and vomited several times. He appeared to feel better the next day, but then the condition worsened to the point that he needed medical attention. After being rushed to the hospital, the man was diagnosed with intestinal necrosis and scheduled for emergency resection surgery.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. His family was furious.
They had to remove that piece of intestine. Fucking all right.
Yeah, reconnect it. Where does this take place?
I have no idea. Australia,
Florida. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Like, what the fuck?
Close.
I have no clue.
Close. China.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
All right.
Is that why he continued? Like, China's a little weird, man. Yeah. Because I'm like, get this shit the fuck off me, yo.
Like, ow. I got it. Like, I'm not even mad that you tried it. But, like, at a certain point, when I'm like, whoa, pain is at a level 8, I'm good. That's the end of the experiment.
No, I'm not even trying it.
You don't even care about your wife.
No, not that much. Get out of here. I will wear a watermelon or a fat suit, tape a watermelon in my gut, and
a couple months ago you need to.
Well, yeah, a couple months ago, shit. I'm good.
We're terrible to each other. We really are. I'm good. Yeah, according to Chinese legal experts, if the man or his family file a complaint, the guilty party faces up to 3 years in prison and paying compensation to the victim. Yeah, yo, go for that. Do that. Nah, she should go to jail.
Go to jail. You fucking are you trying to kill me? What the hell?
You still want to get married? Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. That's really fucking awful. That's real bad. All right. The only trailer this week is for Andor season 2. Terrence, you don't give a fuck about Star Wars. Quote you earlier.
I just watched the trailer.
Was the first one episode 4? Is that right? That was you earlier.
Was the first one, right?
That is correct. Micah, what are your thoughts on Andor season 2 trailer?
It looks great. It's one of the best things that Star Wars that Lucasfilms put out in a very, very long time. And look, this I think it's great because it appeals to me, an older demographic, and
that's okay.
Yeah, so your mileage may vary. I don't care for a lot of the other Star Wars stuff, but like Star Wars being taken super seriously and given the talent and money to produce something super serious. Yeah, I really like it. Like the best, my favorite Star Wars things are the most serious and most dire, right? The Empire Strikes Back, which was the dark middle chapter in the first trilogy, the Rogue One, which was a war movie about smuggling, about trying to figure out how to destroy fascism and the big fascist planet killer, and Andor, which is Yeah, the start of it. So the start of fighting fascism. And I think we really need this is coming out at the best time it could possibly come out right now.
100%. Lucas has been telling you this shit since 1977, trying to get you to fucking wake up. Here it is.
The same people who have who have the blue line flag have the Rebel Alliance sticker next to the blue line flag. Like, all right, guys, like, you don't get it.
You don't get none of it. With a Punisher fucking sticker right after that. Like, cool.
Right.
Yeah, you're totally confused about all of these things. Keep all that woke shit out of my movies. Bro, you know what? All right. I don't like Star Wars being political. It's got the word war in the title. Like, hello.
Right.
Yeah, I think this looks great. I would have gone with a different song for the trailer. I wasn't too keen on the song. Like, it fits, but it's also like slightly obnoxious. But this looks good. It looks really good. I just never thought that Diego Luna's appearance in that first movie was going to sort of spawn this, and it's fantastic. Like, it really, really is. And like you said, it could not come at a better time. And look, it's not for kids. This is very much on our side of Star Wars as far as age group goes. But I also like that this exists in the same time, in the same year that Skeleton Key exists, right? So you can get into Star Wars as a kid who's like 8 and be like, oh, the Skeleton Crew, this is fucking cool. Go back and watch the originals and work your way all the way through and watch all that shit. And then it'll take you like fucking 30 years to get through all of it. And then eventually you get to Andor and you're like, oh, okay. And it can grow with you, because that is what a true franchise that really wants to stay around as long as Star Wars, you got to do a little bit for everybody, man. Like, and this is, I was really kind of disheartened when the first like kind of like fan reviews of this came out. You know, like the nerds were like, Andor is boring and stuff like that. I was like, how old are you? Like that was just like my first question. Like, not that you're wrong, but I'm just curious of how old you are, like in where you are in life, just because it does really matter. Right. It doesn't mean that like a young person can't understand Andor, but it's clearly geared towards people who have been watching this shit for like 35 fucking years. Right. It just does. But yeah.
Or, people who pay attention to like broad in your face themes.
Yeah.
Right. Like, cause I imagine that a lot of these people, you say, how old are you? I say,
well, how mature are you?
Yeah. How mature are you? That's the better question.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because like and that's the good thing about Star Wars, is that it is so big that you can have all of these, different facets, right? My son is into Star Wars, but like he ain't into this, right? He don't know what fascism is. He's into young Jedis fighting space pirates. He's into kid Jedis fighting kid pirates. Like that's what he likes, right?
Right.
And there's a place for him, right? But when I'm debating when to sit him down and watch the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like I might wait a couple years, because I don't think he'll like get it. Like I told you before, he's just watching the bad guys and Wild Robot over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to sit down and watch those from him. But, some of the themes in the Wild Robot, I think, are lost on him.
Of course. He's like, fucking 6.
Yeah. He comes up and is like, Daddy, look at this. And then it's like some animal gets shot up in the air really high, and then he's just laughing and shit. And I'm like, yep, that happened.
Yep. That animal died, and that was a sad part. He's like, but it was fucking hilarious.
It was hilarious, though. It was hilarious. I was going in and out because, he's seen it 84 times. And they do, I think Terrence told me about this, but they do have you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us moment. I was like, oh, well, I'm watching this now.
Yeah. At the end,
I'm watching this now.
Like
So,
you,
I'm gonna
like
watch
that movie.
this week.
Like I really hope that movie wins an Oscar because it really does have all of the elements of just if that wasn't an animated movie and it was just a live action film, like not about animals, but like a robot helping, some sort of group of aliens on a planet, and it was just like taken super seriously. Everyone would be like, yeah, this is a great movie. Like, but just because it gets seen, quote unquote, less than because it's an animated kids movie.
Yeah, because of people like you.
Yeah, well, I don't believe it's a good. I don't believe it's a good storytelling medium at all. I mean, on record for that. But I will make an exception for this story. But like, I just think like that movie really deserves a lot of eyes. I mean, it was fantastic. Like, if you watch that movie and you're like, nah, there's something wrong with you, yo. There's something seriously dead inside. And again, I say this, and Terrence has cried watching this movie numerous times. He said that. Good night, everybody, before he responds.
That was a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, he choked up right now. All right, we got to go. Terrence is like, he's I'm a real man. I only cry when robots help ducks. like that. That's how I roll. No big deal. All right, we will see you guys next week for another episode.
See you.